Hello friends, welcome back to my crafty space. My name is Crystal Idunyate, and today we are going to be working again in my Week in the Life journal for 2022. I have already completed from the beginning through Thursday in my notebook. Today we're going to be putting together all of my layouts for Friday. So we are getting so close to the end of this project. I have all of my photos and journaling already completed. I just need to get the pages assembled. So I'm going to take you through the process on fast forward of putting the pages together and then putting the pages inside of the notebook. I do this in a very streamlined way, or a very assembly lined sort of way, because it makes putting this album together much quicker. If you have watched any of my previous process videos working in this notebook, then the system that I will be using to put all of this together is going to look exactly the same. So I'm not going to talk a whole ton about construction, and I will talk a little bit more this time about the photos and the stories that I am documenting. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and dive into this notebook and get my Friday stories told. Starting off my layouts, I am going to go through a fairly similar process as all of my other Week in the Life videos. So first, what I'm going to do is prep all of my different pages. I'm going to bring over all of my full page photos, embellish them while they are not inside of the notebook. And then once I've got everything ready to just stick inside the notebook and live, that's when I will go and assemble it inside. This helps me reduce the amount of bulk that I'm working on top of. So if I need to do any stamping, or if I need to have anything stapled, it's just already there and taken care of. For the flip out here at the beginning, I am just using washi tape to create the flip itself. I have the washi adhered to the front side of my transparency, which I cut down to 6 inches by 8¼ inches. And then the washi tape goes to the back side of the photo. So when this is stuck down inside of the notebook, it's not going to come back up. For my Friday title here and the subtitle, which is one of the little black phrases, I am going to staple that on top of the transparency. And again, I tried to choose photos that were almost background types of photos, or photos that had a large amount of space at the bottom, so the abbreviation of the day didn't cover anything up too important. For Friday, that photo happens to be a picture of brunch when my husband and I went out for brunch after dropping the kids off at school. The collage page there is one that was a layer template, and I simply added in the vellum heart. This is the 4x6 where I'm going to add in the different pieces of my day, which for this one, I am adding in a little bit of a painting that my son did at school. I have some artwork from my daughter where she took a bunch of stickers and added them onto some construction paper, and I just cut that down. I have a movie ticket from going to the movies with the kids. We went to go see the movie Lightyear. I have a small piece of packaging paper from a paper person collection that came in the mail for me that day. And then I also have this little origami bird that my daughter made for me, and I'm sticking that in here as well. I think it's really cute and it perfectly fits inside of that square. So just trying to take some of the things, some of the stuff of life from around our house. I cut those down to about 1.75 inch square, and then they fit inside of the 2-inch squares pretty perfectly. Now, this is a portion of the notebook that I need to get in first. And if you've seen my other videos, you'll notice the same thing. The plastic word routine was actually part of a larger plastic piece that said current routine. I cut them in half so that I had 2 separate words, 2 separate titles. And this time I'm going to use the word routine along with a subtitle that says life right now. What I wanted to do with this page is I wanted to capture a little bit more of the regular everyday life of what everything looks like right now on a normal schedule. I've said before that this week was kind of abnormal for us. We had a lot of family things happening, a lot of going out and not really being at home and being out of any kind of normalcy that we would normally have. So I used the opportunity to take the word routine and I stamped out times from 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. and I wrote out the schedule that I typically follow throughout the day. So what does my daily routine look like for specifically a weekday? And that was a really fun way to still include that type of storytelling, even when the week itself was anything but normal. On my Thursday, I did a little bit of journaling for each day of the week and what we would normally do as a family on those days. So it's just been fun to come up with different ways of still including those stories, even though this particular week didn't necessarily represent what our normal days would look like. I hope that that makes sense. So now that I've got all of the photos and everything embellished, I simply need to add everything in. I'm using double-sided adhesive to stick everything down into my notebook, and you'll see that I will take off one section of the backing and then stick down the photo where I want it to go, peel up the rest of the photo, take off the rest of the backing, and stick it down. This allows me to make sure I have everything positioned where I want it to go, and then I don't have to deal with a bunch of peeling up of all the tape if I accidentally put it in the wrong place. It's just a hack that I have learned through doing traveler's notebooks like this that makes things so much easier. Now for this page, this What I Want to Remember page, this is one of the pages that I was very intentional about the photos that I was choosing because I wanted to journal about what is it about that photo that I want to remember? And I'll go ahead and read my journaling for this page as I'm sticking everything down. So the first photo there is a picture of my son looking at his two lovies, is what we call them. So it's Mario and Luigi. And he constantly asks my husband, Aaron, to talk in their voice. So he was doing that at this moment in time, and I was taking pictures as he did. So I wrote, I want to remember Jonah's obsession with Mario and Luigi and Aaron being them. So to him, my husband is Mario and Luigi. The next photo there is a picture of my hands, and inside of my hands is a collection of vintage Star Wars figurines. This one I said, finding these pieces of my past in Dad's office and feeling connected to him. The coffee cup, I said, Aaron's and my shared love of fancy coffee. The little, or the picture at the movies, I said that Fridays are special because we made them into family movie night. And then the last picture is a picture of an origami crane that Isabella had made. And this one I said how Izzy's art makes me feel connected to her. So pieces about those individual pictures that in years from now, I want to be able to look back at that page and read what is it specifically about that photo that I want to remember in the years to come. This next page is going to be the placeholder for the Stuff of Life 6x4 journaling card. I'm also going to put a filler card there in the top right corner, just to give the eye a little bit of a break. And I also love that it allows me to use up my stuff. And then the two photos that I've chosen for this page are this one here, this little small one is my mom, my dad, and my sister at our family's company, which on this particular Friday, we learned that my dad was officially going to be leaving his company and pursuing something else. We don't know what that something else is going to be yet, but it was a really big deal because he's been working at his family's business for the past 35 plus years. So it was a really big moment. And I went up to help him gather some of the things from his office and snapped a picture of my mom, my dad, and my sister, who were all working for the company at that point, as kind of a final, like, this is our final day in this building. Like, it was just really it was a cool thing to happen during the week in the life because it meant that I was able to document it in this way. So I'm really thankful for that, and we're really excited to see what the future will hold for all three of them. And then this last picture here is a picture of me working on a puzzle in my kitchen. Just a simple everyday picture that I could use to represent, like an everyday type of story, which was the routine story. I went ahead and rounded out all of the corners. And next, what I'm going to do is zoom in a little bit more so you can see more of the details for the different layouts, and we will close out from there. All right, friends, I have finished my Friday pages. So we'll just do a quick little flip through so you can see how this all looks as it flows through the album. We are getting chunkier and chunkier with 2 more days left to go, plus a couple of bonus pages that I have planned for the very back of this notebook. So I do think we're going to get there. And I do think it's going to just be a super chunky album. For some of the pieces that do stick up on the edges, when I'm flipping the pages, I just kind of hold them down a little bit in order to turn my pages so that they don't bend or do anything weird. So it's generally for the plastic phrases, and then also for the transparency, I can just hold it down and turn the page. So there we go. That is Friday done and in the notebook. I am going to be back again next week working on Saturday in this notebook. So hopefully I will see you back here then. If you enjoyed today's video, I hope that you did. And if you did, I would love a thumbs up on this video down below, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Actually, let's start this up. All right, friends, that completes my Friday pages. I am so excited to be moving along and completing this project. I'm hoping to get this done before the end of August. That is my ultimate goal. And that way I'm totally ready for all of the fall and winter documenting that lies ahead. I hope you enjoyed seeing today's pages come together. If you did, I would love a thumbs up down below, and be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I will take you through a quick final flip through so you can see how all of the Friday pages flow from one to the other. The album itself is getting chunkier and chunkier every single time I add my pages in, but I do think that we're going to make it all the way to the end. I'm going to be back again next week working on Saturday in this notebook. And then I've got just Sunday and some bonus pages at the end planned still to do. Hopefully I will see you back here for next week's video. Until then, have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you all in the next video. Bye, friends.